able to
Don't
say
get
it.
too relaxed, though.
I'm not healthy. I have pains every morning.
Come on, you're Andor.
Sí, güey. Sí, sí, sí.
I love you, my friend. You know I love you.
It is a Star Wars holiday.
May us, really?
May the 4th be with you. See, exactly. Don't worry. See, I am gonna go after this to Disneyland. In fact, there's an event of a Star Wars event. Yeah,
Oh my
you're
God.
more than welcome to come.
Today?
See,
Oh
no.
God. I wish I would have known. I would have get dressed like a Yoda or something like that. But you're like a superhero.
It's
You're like super Star Wars hero, man.
The Empire cannot win. You'll never feel right unless you're doing what you can to stop them.
How do you feel about that? I mean, it's no joke.
No.
No.
No, it feels cool. I mean, I grew up watching Star Wars.
Of course.
So there was something very special about, and we do it like in the old days, you know, everything is mechanical.
Wow.
The droids are machines that someone's like playing with and working, and there's an actor giving a voice to it, and you have a speaker, so you're reacting and you improvise, and the droid improvises with you. There's creatures, and you know, there's this like wonderful creatures played by 2 or 3 people that are doing different stuff to move them, and they have mechanical faces, and it is like a kid's dream, you know, like you were suddenly in a playground.
I wasn't expecting that to be real.
Yeah, there's no
stuff.
No green screens or the way we do it. The way we do ours is like, it is all sets that we have to wait for them to build them, and then sets come down and it's over. There's no like reshoots, retakes, or anything, you know, like movie making in a good way.
That's good for the reshoots. So
Exactly.
you know that you're not going to be called back for the reshoots. There are no sets.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like the old films you watched, you know, it has that sense of feeling where you can look everywhere and everything is this galaxy far, far away, that everything is...
It's a gift. And kudos to production for doing such a thing. It's amazing. As for an actor to be immersed in that world, no, it helps you big deal. If you're gonna play something that is really beyond this world, it must be very helpful to really be surrounded by things that remind you that you are not in this world.
Yes.
You know, rather than a big blue screen.
And also everything is, the idea of this show is that we tell the story of like regular people in this galaxy far, far away. There is no Jedis. There's no. It's like about how the rebellion or the revolution erupts. No, so it's about their everyday life. So you get into their kitchens, their homes, their living rooms, and then they go to have a nap, and you see how the bed is and where they have to close the curtains, and like suddenly all those details become part of this, you know, instead of the idea of just like things flying and blasters. No, this is more about the regular life of regular people that suddenly are in a very extraordinary moment. No, it's cool because it's as realistic as anything else I've done before, but just that there's rules, you know, there's like rules in this universe. Like there's no shoelaces.
Okay.
There's no buttons.
Okay.
Things just close, you know. There is like, I mean, it's
I like that.
You go like, how do I mean, and in the show we don't wear the clothes, we put them on and off, so you have to solve those questions, you know. How is this gonna close, you know? And suddenly obviously there's, you know, velcros and stuff to make this fantasy happen, but there people wear capes, you know. I on the second season I got to wear a cape. That's like, I mean,
cape acting. It's not easy.
It's not easy
because it's always in the middle.
Until you get it right, and then there's no better acting than the cape. Just becomes you get hooked to the cape.
We need a pilot, a soldier.
Everything I did for the rebellion.
First of all, we have to acknowledge the fact that you are Mexican and Spanish.
And we're speaking English.
Estamos hablando en inglés.
Eso está muy cabrón.
Eso está muy cabrón, sí. Pero vamos, es una cuestión también, una forma de respetar a la gente que nos invita a hacer esta charla.
Sí.
Nos han pedido que por favor lo hiciéramos en un 60-40.
60-40, ellos esperando que fuera 60 inglés, 40 español. Claro. Probablemente va a ser al revés, porque 40. Ya ahorita ya me siento tan cómodo.
Pero vamos, sobre todo porque tu inglés es maravilloso, pero el mío...
No,
el mío es terrible.
El mío también.
No, el tuyo no.
Pero, ¿sabes qué? Y sí lo voy a decir en inglés. Porque agradezco que hayas empezado con lo de Star Wars, pero yo me voy a regresar, porque se supone, yo también entiendo que estamos aquí para hablar de nuestros dos trabajos de los que estamos promocionando, pero I'm going to switch to English just for this very quick beginning, because I was like, shit, how am I going to start talking about your character, Jose Menendez, no?
Sí, sí, sí.
If I don't acknowledge what this means for me. Entonces, I'm going to say it in English so I can include all of you here in this, and you don't have to wait for the subtitles to come. And it's not to make you feel old or anything.
I'm old, man. I'm 56.
But man, when I was 12, when I was 13, I was doing theater and TV in Mexico. I started really young, and it was through your work that I realized that cinema was an option, you know? I grew up, the Mexican films we were doing back then, there were very few, you know, we were doing 7-8 films a year. We had a very rachitic, very poor production, national production in that moment. And it was your work that suddenly sparked the kind of like the idea in my head of like, shit, you can do films in Spanish that can travel, that can have this very vibrant kind of like risk-taking performances, you know, that don't stay in what's expected, that you can be surprised with movies and they can be in your language. And it was jamón.
Bueno. Un abrazo.
Era, sí, güey. Sí.
I love you, my friend. You know I love you. And I admire you so much for everything you do as an actor, as a producer, as a man.
Oh.
You're a great man, and you're a strong soul, and eres un tipo maravilloso. Tú y Gael sois increíbles.
Pero después, además, nos seguiste dando como ejemplo. After I saw you like doing great stuff in our language and suddenly like having a referent that was reminding us that we were special because we spoke Spanish and we could do those films that resonated, you know, because the stories resonated to us as audience. And then you started doing stuff in English and stuff out of Spain.
And one of my first stuff.
I was there.
How old were you?
I was like, I guess that was 96.
That's 99.
99. So I was
30.
I was 18.
18.
Or 17 now.
We're talking about Before Night Falls, with Julian Schnabel.
And then you kept like just raising the bar and saying like, okay, I mean, it's about integrity, it's about conviction, and it's about risk-taking, you know? You always brought that into your decisions. It looked like that.
Enough,
pero,
please.
Sí, no, pero espérate.
No, espérate, que
ahora
no tengo más.
Nada más en español decir una cosa. Que es esta profesión y este momento nos dé la oportunidad de estar charlando de nuestro trabajo así. Puta, es una bonita historia que contar, porque cuando yo era niño yo no creí que esa historia era posible, o sea, que esto podría pasar. Y ahora pasa mucho más con la televisión y con el cine, que de pronto las carreras, pues como sigues avanzando generacionalmente y se va poniendo cada vez más interesante, te da chance de conectar con aquellos a los que inspiraste. Hoy se la pasan diciéndome a mí, puta, tu trabajo le encanta a mi mamá, ¿no? Y yo digo, claro, tú ya eres de otra generación. Y es bien chingón que este trabajo te dé estos regalos.
Absolutamente.
De que decir, puta, pasaron 20 y tantos años y aquí estamos viéndonos, platicando en esta situación tan extraña. Y me da muchísimo gusto, güey.
A mí también, amigo mío. Te admiro muchísimo. how lucky are we that we get a job, that we can be here like 26 years later than Before Night Falls, which was my first job in English, and one of your first jobs as well, I guess.
No? I couldn't call that English because I remember I did like 9 takes where what was coming out of my mouth was like just incomprehensible. Like it was like, what is he saying? What just happened? I remember Julian being so patient with me, and I was like, oh, I can't. There's something that happens when I hear rolling that I go like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We both have the same problem when they say action and we have to perform in English. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm saying this because you just said that. Still today, 56 years old.
Yeah.
The English it's a weight that you have to carry in order to be able to be relaxed with it. No, like it's not in your system in some ways.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to create it. You have to build it up. You have to be comfortable in something that you are consciously creating. When performing is the opposite of consciousness. No,
it's reacting. It's living it.
Exactly.
It's your instincts are not in English. It's interesting because also there's something else that kicks in, I guess, as an actor, no? That a way to protect yourself from not having those tools. Probably, do you prepare differently?
Absolutely.
No, you prepare deeper and more kind of like.
That's true. And also, I don't know about you, but for me, in a way, I'm less shy in English than in Spanish.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
How come?
because I don't know, because in Spanish, I feel like I can't hide myself in some ways, in so funny ways. But in English, I can. It's like, okay, it's the language barrier. That's not me. I don't know how to explain it, but for me, it's in a way easier to take risks in English than in Spanish, somehow. I don't know why, but based on your face, that doesn't happen to you.
No, I don't feel that way because I am too self-aware in English of my limitations. While in Spanish, have been. I mean, my limitations are what defines me, and I'm happy with them. And in English, I'm always, and I'm also. Very few times I'm working with people that are going through the same struggle.
Claro.
No, so it makes me feel like left out, like there's something happening that I have to catch up always. And in Spanish, no, in Spanish you feel part of the collaboration team kind of like has the same flaws or
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Why do we keep doing it? Like
because we have to earn some money, man. We have to keep on working. We have families, man.
Exactly. This is a declaration to you, Jerónimo, Fiona. We're doing this.
Leo y Luna, we're doing this for you.
For you.
And also for us, because it's fun to do. Come on.
Because I think there is something that opens up when you work in another language. It's like you join a convention kind of that allows for. I don't know if I could do Star Wars in Spanish, for example.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying about the being shy. Maybe playing Andor in Spanish won't be the same for you.
No, in fact I do the voice in Spanish.
Okay.
And I am very like self-aware of like, oh my God, this sounds terrible. No, wait a second, let's change it.
So you dub yourself?
Yes.
Ah, wow.
It is difficult because it's like the whole structure is meant not to. You know, there's great people that also they make a living out of it, and there's a whole industry of people that dubs.
España, sí.
And they don't allow me to do it in Spain. Not my voice, because
bueno, porque es otra.
Porque es otro acento y entonces hago la versión en español para toda América Latina y Estados Unidos.
Qué difícil doblarse.
Es
sobre todo hablarte a ti mismo en otro idioma. Yo lo hice durante unos años, al principio, Before Night Falls, John Malkovich, y hubo un momento que ya tuve que parar porque no podía no boicotear mi trabajo. Sentía que mi trabajo estaba hecho de aquella manera.
Y que no había manera de emularlo en un estudio.
Exactamente.
No, además, no, O sea, no hay manera de que pegue, ¿no?
Sí. Y tienes que hacer muchos ruidos.
Oh, my God, sí, estoy bien, déjalo.
O sea, sí.
Pero hay gente que lo hace muy bien.
Muy bien, claro.
Yo,
O sea, hay
yo
gente que...
tendía a burlarme mucho del doblaje.
Es muy difícil.
Yo me burlaba mucho hasta que una vez me puse a doblarme y dije,
Qué
ay, cabrón.
difícil.
Y después, además, te autodiriges, ¿no?
Claro.
Y entonces después lo oyes en contexto y parece que tú estabas dormido, que no tenías ganas de estar ahí.
Totalmente.
Todo el mundo está sintiéndolo así, tu
Totalmente.
personaje habla así.
Totalmente. Eso es lo que me pasó a mí, que estás al lado de gente que también el oído del que lo escucha, del público, está habituado a un tipo de voz que dobla. Y cuando tú vas y dices, hola, ¿me das un vaso de agua? Es como, wow, ¿qué es esa mierda?
Sí,
Y
así
bueno,
no se pide.
Perdón, es que no sé hacer lo otro.
Así no se pide.
Claro. Se pide, hola, ¿me das un vaso de agua? Claro.
De agua, sí, de agua.
I don't love you, Kitty. I don't love our sons. I don't love this family.
You said outside that you did it for like in a short period of time.
Yes.
But how did sleeping become part of your life doing that character?
I had the greatest time.
Yeah? Please tell me.
Please tell me how is that possible?
How
because I talked to Ryan Murphy, who's, amazing. And I said, first of all, I was not familiar with the story. I think the story was very powerful here in the States, but not so much in Europe. So I didn't really know much about the Menendez case. Then when I read about it, I was like, oh, shit, this is heavy. And I don't know about you, but there's this kind of secret golden rule for actors to not play pedophiles. I mean, it's a very heavy stuff when you're abusing children. It's like you can see movies from all around the world of violence, any kind of violence, but there are not so many about abusing children sexually, because it's a very heavy thing to talk about and to witness and for the audience to watch it. So I have this talk with Ryan Murphy and said, okay, how are you going to deal with this? Because first of all, I can't. It's not that I don't want to, I can't play any scene with a minor in a room. I mean, I can't do that. I mean, it's not, I can't. I can't go with a cattle gun, killing people in No Country for Old Men, because I know that's absolutely out of this world and it's fiction and it's blah, blah, blah. But that thing, it's like, my body will react to a place where like I'm not capable of. And he said, don't worry, we're not going to go there. We don't need to, we don't have to, and I don't want that either. And first of all, we don't know if that happened. There were 4 people who knew. 2 of them are dead, the parents, and the 2 of them are in prison. Nobody knows. That really triggers my interest, like, okay, that's interesting, because then I have to play a character that you are supposed to think that he was capable of doing those things, such atrocity, but at the same time, we don't know if he really did it. So it's not that you're playing one profile, you're playing somebody that it could be or could be not. And I thought, that's interesting, as an actor to play, to be in different colors. That's why when the episode where we see the background story of Jose Menendez came to me, I was like, relief, because it's true that he himself went through some abuse in his childhood. Then you understand the whole thing. You understand the intergenerational trauma and what he meant for him not to be able to face that trauma, be silent about it because you're a man and you have to hold it together and pass that to his own children. So for me, it was like, okay, now I understand the journey. And when I put my shoes, I said to Cooper and Nicholas, the amazing actors that played Lyle and Eric, I don't want to be an asshole in this set. Don't expect me to be mean or cruel or bad. I want this to be a game. Otherwise, it's too heavy for me, the whole thing. So let's have a good time. And I don't know about you, but every time they say cut, I'm going to jump on you and hug you and have a laugh and remind you guys that you have a beautiful family at home waiting for you that loves you and protects you and supports you. So this is all fiction, because for me, it was in and out, but for them, it was like 5 months, daily basis, carrying that weight. And it's like, and you have to be careful with that. So I had a good time.
Probably being in English also
Absolutely. The fact that I have a couple of scenes in Cuban, I have to work the Cuban accent. Those scenes were the difficult ones.
It suddenly connects with the way you said "mama," "papa" in your life.
It's like, oh God, oh shit. Now I can test what it sounds real and what it doesn't, because I have a connection with the language, even if it's a different accent.
Yes.
But with English, it's a different game, I think.
It's incredible because everything you're saying that it brought you peace and allowed you to play, and it's what makes it very scary and and haunting.
Right.
It's the opposite. Now I blame you, but I had nightmares that you should have had as an actor, not me as
I was having a good
audience.
time.
It's like
So, you know what I think when you complain that I hit you? I think that I didn't hit you hard enough.
I saw the whole thing and I was like, holy shit, holy shit. How much can be hidden, in like these big personality people, like the character you play that fills the room and comes in, and it's always putting an act. And what's hiding behind those characters? It made me think about many people I know.
Of course.
And in the music business that, is so like, boom, boom. And you go like, shit, what nightmares is that hiding?
And also I think it represents a kind of a type of man, machismo, that we know very much of because of the countries that we're coming from. They are very present even today. For example, in Spain, there are like lots of murders of women being murdered by their ex-husbands or ex-boyfriends, or a lot of that still today, unfortunately, like a horrible, huge number of them. And unfortunately, those murderers are not always people of my generation that we were raised in a certain way of what it means to be a man, and absolutely wrong in every aspect. But even younger people, younger generations are committing those crimes. And I go, what is wrong? What have we not learned? And I guess playing Jose Menendez really put me in contact with what it meant to be a man in that time. Educated with the wrong values, wrong perspectives towards women, towards themselves, men. That's why they were allowed to, in case those abuses happen, they were allowed to be so silent, because a man doesn't suffer those things. That's for women. I mean,
and the amount of violence that can be kind of accepted in these stories of like the people that comes out of nothing, like this very heroic thing of like no matter how they got there, but they got there, and by getting there deserve respect. And you go like, wait a second, it's not just about getting there, it's about how you get there, and who are you stepping on the way.
And I would say that was the part that was very uncomfortable, because that made me face my own, even if he's from Cuba, but the Latin culture, the educational way of thinking, what it meant to be a man in the 70s, in the 80s. I saw traces of my own education, what I have to really rewire myself into by being raised up in certain stereotypes of what it meant to be that man. And on my side, on my case, I was blessed by being raised by my mother more than my father. And that was a lifesaver, because she was the opposite. She was a fighter. She was always really like giving her voice and her face in front of everybody for the women's rights and for the labor's rights. And she was a very advocate to many causes. And I saw that like, okay, that is correct. And she's a woman, so...
And because I know who you're talking about, pero y qué actriz era también.
Una actriz maravillosa también.
But I mean, not just saying it for to talk about your mouth, but to talk about that reference you had of someone that also was like a rounded actor, no? That tenía...
That it was coming also from her parents as actors. And so I was lucky to have that reference, but many of my generation who didn't have that reference, and it was more of the male reference of that, they may have had some problems with their own raising up, you know.
Ya me vas a hacer llorar. Oh my God, parents.
Yeah, we are parents, man.
We are parents, and we have parents. My father wasn't an actor, but there is this thing of like being in the same business my father was, and kind of like being the same kind of journey as he was. And still things have changed so dramatically for good and bad. And there is it's very interesting job, this one, that connects you so much personally with not just with what you were doing, but the way it's done. Totally. It also matters, no? When we do these projects about criticizing or emphasizing how important it is to take care of the manners of the rules before. And I know you're gonna edit this fantastically, so it'll sound like I knew what I wanted to say. But when I was looking at your show and thinking of this conversation, I go like, also in cinema, how many stories we have in cinema that we're thinking about, like, we gotta do the best film no matter what, you know. And I think that's changing.
Yes.
And that allows us, like your show, to talk about what matters is the way we are relating to each other, the way we treat each other.
Absolutely. I think for the better, because now when somebody really stands out by being a bully or being like especially aggressive on set, it's like, no. I think that's a great advance for sure. And also, I've been in situations where I've been very uncomfortable working with someone, those situations didn't help me to do a better performance, to make a better performance. No. So I don't think, but you're a director yourself. So how do you translate that into the set you are working? Meaning, for me, it's very easy to say it, but when you are a director, you are under so much pressure. Everybody's looking at you. You have to deal with so many realities, and one of them, the most important, or one of the most important, is the money, the time. Time is money, and people always behind you, reminding you, there's no time, there's no time, there's no time, there's no time to do your thing. And your thing happens to be the one reason why you're doing your thing. But at the same time, you have to give them, the money people, what they need, what they want, So I guess when you're under that pressure, how do you manage to be able to protect your artist, your creativity?
Probably I go back to the stuff my father taught me, but the theater is the best way to tell ourselves what we do. You know, theater it has almost all the answers. And for me, the thing is, it doesn't matter what the pressure is. The people, the artists, I think, they're incapable of doing their best when there's pressure. Yeah. There has to be obstacles. There has to be limitations for creativity to erupt, no? Limitations are great. Like, shit, we can't see that way. How do we solve it? And in trying to fix that, you'll find something amazing. But pressure, like, we have to know always that we are allowed to fuck up. No? If you're allowed to ruin the take, if you're allowed to ruin the day, then magic happens out of you, because you don't have that fear of not having a second chance. I guess is that, you know. I at least I remember as an actor that I would paralyze if directors would be like, "This is it. This is the last take you have." Then it's over, ¿no?
Pero ¿y en teatro entonces?
In teatro, well, you have another one tomorrow. And another one comes tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. That's
Pero I think that's the only thing that as a director you should be willing to do, is like the best coaches of any sport. Like, take the pressure out of your team.
Absolutely.
You have to handle with the pressure, and everyone else has to handle with the risk they're taking and the obstacles you're going to be putting or facing.
And la máquina.
Yes, la máquina.
La máquina, cabrón.
¿Estamos? A ver, ¿concentrado? Sí, cabrón. Pero vamos, güey. Ya, cabrón. Te la pelaste, cabrón. Partido madres, ¿va?
Producida por ti y por Gael.
Y por Gael, sí.
Protagonizada por ti y por Gael.
Ajá. Por suerte, lo demás lo hicieron otros. Si no, hubiera sido muy
hablando
difícil.
de presión, ¿cómo podéis manejar, aunque la habéis hecho ya antes en alguna película, ¿no?
Sí, pero...
La producción con la interpretación.
Porque teníamos un gran director.
Sí.
¿Es
un solo director?
Un solo director por los 6 episodios.
Vale.
Y en el que confiábamos mucho, porque Hulu quería realmente hacer una serie en español que fuera distinta y que fuera, y en lugar de hacerla en su territorio, pero con gente que medio habla español, dijeron, llévensela a México, háganla como ustedes trabajan.
Qué bien, ¿eh?
Y,
Qué bien.
Y ahí estuvieron muy, muy respetuosos, pero también muy, con mucha presencia en términos de que todo el tiempo nos recordaban la importancia que tenía que tuviéramos mucho rigor en el trabajo, ¿no? O sea, que se hiciera con mucho rigor y que no nos faltara nada. Se encargaron de eso. Sí, fue muy afortunado. Y estaba Fox Searchlight, que también pues producen el cine que nos gusta y hablamos un mismo idioma. Y trabajamos con la familia fílmica con la que crecimos. Había gente ahí que había hecho Y tu mamá también. O sea, había gente con la que tenemos 25 años trabajando, ¿no? Historias así de que ya todos sacando las fotos de nuestros hijos y algunos ya son incluso abuelos. Ya trabajas con no sé quién junior, ¿no? Decir, yo trabajaba con tu papá. Estuvo muy lindo eso, muy lindo. Y además, pues, con mucho menos oscuridad que en tu serie, pero sí nos permitía hablar de la popularidad de estas historias en las que se deposita tanta presión, ¿no? Sobre el éxito como una idea absurda de ganar o perder, ¿no? Y del entretenimiento y de estas figuras del boxeo que la gente usa y después...
¿no?
Aquí llegamos al final, ¿no? Cuando ya empieza a venir hacia abajo la carrera. ¿Y qué pasa, no? Todo el mundo te enseña y te ayuda a llegar allá, pero luego nadie te ayuda a bajarte del...
Claro, qué bueno eso.
Y ya, la verdad es que cuando...
Tu personaje es un poco el que
es el manager.
El manager, pero es el que le da el último empujón para esa bajada, ¿o no?
Sí. Al final...
O sea, ¿le acompaña?
Al final lo acompaña, pero es también el que cuando antes de darse cuenta ya lo había vendido todo, ¿no?
El que no ha cuidado que no sucediese eso.
Es un tipo que además tiene una insatisfacción perenne con su apariencia y no se pierde el respeto, se inyecta todo en la cara, cada que entra en ataques de angustia se inyecta lo que puede, tiene unas nalgas falsas, vive usa peluca porque no le gusta su apariencia y quisiera ser el boxeador, pero no es. También hay muchos de esos en el mundo del entretenimiento.
Y eso es una ficción.
Eso es una ficción, pero...
Basado en eventos reales,
sí,
¿no?
Hay algunos personajes que saben que están muy cerca de nuestras... No, nos gusta mucho el box y sí, cuando trabajas con familia y amigos, pues acabas hablando de un mundo cercano, ¿no?
Claro.
De alguna u otra forma. Claro. Eso es una cosa linda de esta profesión.
Hombre, claro. And how is working with Gael now? I mean, it's like...
He's impossible now.
It's impossible as a producer. It's impossible. As an actor, it's not bad.
No, he's the best. Man.
For you guys, it's like you're just looking at each other and say, okay, action.
Something happens that is just
it must be amazing, no?
And we were very scared not to have it, as if it was something that we couldn't control.
When was the last time?
It was like 10 years ago. It was Rudy Cursi, probably. We did a tiny thing together with Will Ferrell, but we had very little together.
Okay.
But Rudy Cursi was more than 10 years ago. It was 15 years ago. So we thought we lost it probably, or that it wasn't going to be there. And then suddenly,
boom.
And we improvised a lot.
Great.
That's when I go like, this is something I definitely cannot do in English.
Right.
like that kind of connection.
And the freedom to just go with it. Boom.
Yes,
without having second thoughts on, is that correct? Is that wrong? Would you say that?
It just happens in this interview naturally. The part in English you can see like with a fast forward kind of thing, and you'll realize there's so much.
Our asses make tuck.
Exactly. Spanish is.
In Spanish, my ass is relaxed.
It's relaxed, yeah. Mine too. I'm so pleased to be able to
Don't
say
get too relaxed, though. Anyway, you can cut that out or not.
What's your favorite movie?
I don't have one.
He's the Spider-Woman. So you are doing Raúl Juliás.
It is.
It's a show or it's a movie?
It's a movie, but it's based on the musical.
Okay.
So
not
there was
a movie.
Okay. There was a book, obviously. Then there is a theater play.
Okay.
Then there is a film.
Yes.
The one we saw. Then there is a musical, and Bill Condon makes an adaptation of the musical.
Okay.
It's like a homage to theater. It's a homage to like MGM films and everything. Those films that were like shot theater, you know, that
right.
and that have these very long takes, and we dance, we sing, and then.
Wow.
Yes. Well,
Look
they
at
dance.
you, singing and dancing, man.
No, but for seconds.
No, not for seconds. Don't excuse yourself. I want an album.
Exactly.
But are you shooting already?
No, that's shot, and it opened in Sundance, and it's coming out in October. And it was quite a treat because I got to work with everyone, like the best of Broadway theater today, for a few weeks in New York. And then we went to do the jail part. That is no musical, that is straightforward, like that's but it is a very theatrical approach to the setting, and it's its own thing. It's quite special.
And it's for theaters, it's for movie theaters.
It's coming out in movie theaters October 10th.
Okay, there you go. I'll be there, my friend. I'll be there.
Y Cabo de Miedo, qué pedo.
Cabo del Miedo, Cabo del Miedo.
Cabo de Miedo, así. Cabo de Miedo, I saw when I was reading subtitles for.
of course.
So for me, it's Cabo de Miedo.
Cabo de Miedo. Claro. For me, it's Cape Fear, yeah. But I remember watching the movie with my brother. I guess I was 20-something, 25. My brother was 30, and we were like, I mean, that scene with Robert De Niro and Julia Louis.
Oof. And just the driving. It's, oh my God.
Everything about the movie, Nick Nolte, everything. And when they offered me the possibility, I was like, hold on. Those are two big shoes to fill. Robert Mitchum, De Niro, no. But then I got the material and I saw, okay, this is a new take. And it's a new approach. It's based on that. Martin Scorsese and Spielberg are producing it. So
but it's a short. It's like a limited series.
It's a limited series. Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, this makes sense because it's a new take. Of course, has lots of things in common, but it's a different reading of it. And I like the fact that I talked to many people, especially from 40 years old and under. And some of them, or many of them, haven't seen.
No, the film didn't like.
Cape Fear. And I go, yeah, because I'm doing this Cape Fear. Cape what? I said, well, excuse me? Cape Fear. What is that? So go right now to your house and look for a streaming service that has Cape Fear and watch that movie. You have to watch that movie. So, of course, it's a masterpiece. But then it helped me to understand, there's a whole generations or two generations of people that don't know much about it, so we can tell the tale again. Yeah. Which is what they did with Scorsese's movie. They told the tale of Robert Mitchum, Gregory Peck movie. Yeah. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. Then I can, it's not that I'm taking the place of somebody else, it's like we're doing something new.
And this long format, no? Yes, also, that allows you to...
Yes, I love that. Because Monsters is my first TV thing.
But it's also a limited, so it has a beginning and an end.
Exactly. But also for me, used only to make movies, what I learned is about this possibility of spreading your character. You have more situations to play, more colors to feel. Yeah. It's like, feels good. Yes. It feels good that you have that time to explore, no?
I think so. I think to me, the big difference is if you know the ending, when you're starting, you know what you're doing. In fact, that they're longer, it's like it's like there's no more director's cut and the one that comes out. We are doing always a director's cut, like one that has the time to explore.
Exactly, es verdad. It's true that sometimes when things come my way that I didn't know about, feels good because, oh, that's surprising, but I wish I would have known that before because I would have done things different but anyway, that's the way it works. And I mean, we are blessed. We got a job. We do what we love. We can feed our families.
Yes.
And we are healthy. In your case, you're healthy and handsome. In my case, I'm healthy.
I'm not healthy. I have pains every morning.
Come on, you're Andor. Andor don't have pains.
I would add something else. We have the freedom to choose where we want to be and who we want to work with. And in this case, ¿con quién quiere uno hacer una cosa de estas?
Sí, totalmente.
Que da gusto venir y hacerlo contigo y platicar contigo. Y eso está chingón.
¡Qué bueno! ¡Chingón, ven aquí!
Gracias.
¡Tachán!